And we continue with the Kenny and JT show here on News Talk 1480 WHBC 2026 Cleveland Guardians spring training preview. And we continue talking to, we know this is a pitching organization. Whether you're a starter or you're a bullpen, you're a huge part of the success of the Guardians. And one of the guys joining us from the bullpen right now is Erik Sabrowski, who had a nice year with the Guardians, back for another go round this year. Erik, how are you today?
Doing good, guys. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, we appreciate it, and let's get it out of the way. You mentioned my shirt as soon as you sat down. You're from Edmonton, Alberta, and my old college roommate, John Carpus from Toronto, we were going back and forth watching the gold medal game. It was a hell of a game, a classic between the two, right?
It was a great game, and unfortunately, my guys came up short. But U.S., that's a great team, and Hellebuck, what a performance by him.
Dude, he was standing on his head. Some of those saves he made, it should have been 3 or 4 to 1 Canada, if not for him, right?
Oh, he was great. And it's something I was talking about with some of my friends. It's not like, I think Canada ended up with 41 shots. It's not like it's 41 shots from, the St. Louis Blues on a Tuesday night. It was 41 shots from, Canada's best. So hats off to him for sure.
You're part of Canada's best too. And, we sit here and talk hockey because it's new to us. Kenny grew up with it. He's from Pittsburgh. I lived in Cleveland my whole life. We never had an NHL team for 30 years, whatever. But for me, what I think of is, A, how does a kid get out of Canada by not playing hockey and he plays baseball? And B, with the World Baseball Classic, are you playing or are you pitching in that?
Fortunately, I'm not pitching in that this year. We just had a daughter, so I'm going to stay home and help out with that. I mean, my wife's been a superhero already and don't want to, maroon her on that island. So I'll be staying home, unfortunately.
Did you play hockey as a kid?
I did, yeah. I played till I was 16.
Wow.
I wasn't that good, though. And back home, once you hit, 16, 17, if you're not playing at those top levels, those practice times get at weird hours, 6 a.m. or 10 p.m. And I was like, I'm not making the NHL. I kind of like this baseball thing. Maybe I'll try that out.
Nice.
Well, it's worked out very well for you, Erik, and a big part of that bullpen last year that was key to the Guardians coming back from 15 and a half games down to beat the Tigers. Take me back to last season for you in that role with the Guardians. What did you learn, and what are you hoping to improve on moving forward this year?
Well, I learned that I could build off some of the success that I had late in 24 after I got called up. It was a successful year in 24, but really it was only a month. And so you go into that off season, realize, okay, I broke in, but how can I stay here? And that was a lot of the focus in the winter last year. And, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to break camp with the team, but came back in, I think it was July, kind of hit the ground running and realized that, I can get outs in this league consistently, and doesn't really matter the role or when. Just I learned that when the phone rings, I'm able to get myself ready and get into that game and throw some quality pitches.
Talk about that a little bit. Getting yourself ready. I mean, when Voter picks up that, you don't know if you're playing today. How do you stay loose? How do you stay warm?
Well, I think a good bit of it in our bullpen, at least, is we like to stay loose for a couple innings. Oh. The game's on. We're in that little hut out in right center field. We have the game on TV, but we're kind of just talking, shooting the shit. Sorry, and just messing around. And then, second, third inning comes around. We flip that switch and it's go time. Guys start their preparation, their band routines, their stretches, this and that, and we know that you kind of have an idea of the pockets when you might enter the game. If there's 2 or 3 hitters are left-handed or so on and so forth, you kind of have an idea of when you might be in the game, but you truly don't know until the phone rings and it's your time to go. So you just try and get 75% ready before that phone even rings.
Erik Sabrowski joining us here on the Kenny and JT show. And Erik, the role of the bullpen is so important for every team, but it seems even more important on the Guardians, right? What's the competition? JT talked to Gavin about this, right? Is there that friendly competition amongst the guys in the bullpen that if somebody's striking out the side, okay, let's see what I can do, and you one-upping each other?
Oh, for sure. We're all just trying to be Kate Smith. I mean, right? Like, sometimes I make the joke it might be easier to pull him down to our level than get to his, but we're all just trying to be Kate Smith. I mean, we feed off it. It works in both ways for us. I see if I see Matt Festa go out there and punch out the side, I try and do the same thing. But on the flip side, if one of our guys doesn't have a great day and you're coming in to back him up, you're trying to pick your teammate up. And we all have great days, we all have bad days, and we try and just feed off it. You're either trying to replicate what the guy before you did, or you're trying to pick him up and strand some runners or something like that.
For you, Erik, moving forward this year with this team in the role that you're in, some new guys joining the bullpen. Carl Willis is such an integral part of this team, developing starters as well as relievers. Why is he so good, A? And B, how has he helped you become who you are now?
I think one of the biggest attributes, I guess, Carl has is the staff he surrounds himself with. Right, all of our pitching coaches, all four of them, I think, could be a pitching coach anywhere, and we're just lucky enough to have Carl leading the way. Brad Goldberg, Caleb Longshore, Joe Torres, all those guys have, they all have their different strengths as coaches, and as a player, it's your job to try and kind of abuse those guys to, if I'm not moving right, I go to Joe. If the delivery's not syncing up, that's Brad, and then Caleb's kind of a do-it-all. He's out there in the bullpen with us too, so he's as much of a mental coach as he is a pitching coach. And then Carl, just with his tidbits and his knowledge, it's a great group, and we're really fortunate to have all of them here.
Well, Guardians are fortunate to have you, and a big part of that team's success last year, going for a third straight division championship this year. Erik, thanks so much for the time. Continued success with the Guardians, and we'll talk to you down the road. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, there he is, Erik Sabrowski, another important member of that Cleveland Guardians bullpen, spending a few minutes with us today here on the Kenny and JT Show. We'll get a break in right now, come back with more right after this.